Hey, welcome back to part two of Cognitive Functions Visualized by Bogdan. We're going to cover the other half of the functions, those we did not cover last time. And let's begin with TI, or introverted thinking. In one word, I think I'd say TI is analysis. In two words, probably analysis and understanding. TI is a system of consistency which relies on logic and reasoning to create a web of how the world works. It is a constant search for harmony with ideas and life operations, life functions, instead of values and principles, what's right and wrong, which would be introverted feeling, FI, which we'll get to next. Because of this, TI often tries to create sort of like an equation or a formula for how life works, how to go about life, how do I respond correctly in this situation or that situation, what's right. But obviously, life isn't like an equation or a formula, right? So, and this is where the challenge comes in for TIs to not always find answers in just logic. The answer is not always going to be found there in uh, just pure reasoning. Now let's visualize introverted thinking.
TI resembles a web, which is why I chose to draw a spider web. A spider web which creates a series of logical steps and conclusions.
Next, we come to FI, introverted feeling, which I would label as reflection or evaluation, something like that. FI is a system of, well, it's not, I don't know if I can call it a system. It's hardly a system. Reflection and evaluation on what is important to the individual. It's a constant search for internal harmony, which relies on values and principles, feelings, what's right and wrong, instead of logic and reasoning, which was TI. But the closer it gets to TI, and remember that these traits are extremes of the spectrum. So obviously, someone can definitely be right in the middle in terms of the traits that are present in them. But the closer that FI gets to TI, it transitions more into reflecting upon what's logically right and more based on reason instead of just more personal. FI is very sensitive. Well, so is TI, but I would say FI is even more so because it's this whole thing of this inner core, sensitive inner core of value, what feels right to the person, what has been right for them and has guided them along through life for years. Sometimes, if it doesn't change, if it's never challenged, it can harden, which it is not just true of FI. It can be true for everybody. And when it's challenged or confronted, it can result in negative ways, anger, resistance, animosity. Even some people, because of the sensitive, because of the nature of what introverted feeling is. But anyway, let's see how this looks like drawn out.
Introverted feeling is a search for what's important to the person. Should I trust my heart or my brain? And I'll use music to symbolize those things which make us feel good and give us peace, which is what FI is about.
Let's move on to the bossy boys, TE and FE. I'll explain why I call them that. There's a reason. TE, extroverted thinking, is in essence organizing or controlling. TE is the desire, ability, and inclination to organize and control the surrounding world and situations, and it does that by applying logic and reasoning. And because of this, TE dominants are often seen as blunt or commanding, rude, insensitive, but that's because it's just this instinct, inclination to make things right, to fix their surroundings and situations. They're just trying to make the world a better place the only way they know how. Well, not the only way, but as far as this trait goes, so give them a break. They're just trying. The TEs are what run the world. And let's see what that looks like when I try to draw it out.
This is how I visualize extroverted thinking as kind of like a boxing system which seeks to organize and change the surrounding world, here represented by some poorly drawn buildings. For TE dominance, organization is the name of the game.
And last, but definitely not least, is FE, extroverted feeling, which I would, to put in a nutshell, guiding. FE is the desire, ability, and inclination to guide people, and similarly to TE, organize the surrounding world and situations, but it does that not through logic and reasoning, but by applying values and principles. This one is more based on people. It's more people focused, people centered, instead of TE, which is more situations focused. The main motivation of extroverted feeling is to unite people, bring people together, right? This whole search for unity in the world, turn people into the right direction, spark change in people's lives to make a difference. That's FE.
Extroverted feeling is a guiding system which seeks to change the world for the better. But in order to change the world, you have to change people, which is the main focus of FE.
Well, there you have it. Cognitive functions explained to you from me, just my interpretation, my conclusions. So feel free to disagree. And you also got some visual aids again. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. And once again, let me know on how I did with these functions, the other half. Looking forward to see what you guys think about what I had to say about them. See you all next time.